Hello and welcome to another informative and exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Edwin Atkinson. We have news and more after these messages. Stay with us.
Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. Mosquitoes will breed in any container that holds water.
Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, barrels, buckets and tanks. If this cannot be done, pour cooking oil on the water surface. Punch holes in all tins, plastics and beverage boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover all tires or fill with dirt to prevent water collection. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs. Use mosquito repellents to protect yourself from mosquito bites. Dispose of garbage properly by placing in plastic bags and securing properly to prevent water collection.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Breast cancer affects millions of women and men each year. Yes, even males. As we celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we encourage you to screen for the disease. This includes self-examinations and mammograms. Remember, early detection saves lives.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 26, 2023. Government is considering a more targeted approach to address the root causes of crime and violence. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the policy thinking is to have a specialized division to confront the issues. He was chairing a meeting of the National Partnership Council on Wednesday.
We're literally going to have to set up a ministry separate from the Ministry of National Security to manage social interventions, to treat with violence in intimate partner situations, in domestic situations, to support the development of the family and support, it's almost as if we're going to have a parallel army of social workers who are tasked to intervene and support families from the earliest stages.
Mr. Holness says once the report from the National Violence Commission is received, it will be reviewed and actioned in this direction. In addition, the Prime Minister says the police force will put into action skill sets from an ongoing program that includes intelligence gathering, investigations, training, and standard setting. He lamented that while incidents of shooting are down, the number of persons being killed in these incidents are increasing.
So a lot of study has to go on behind the scenes on that. It could be that the criminals are using more automatic weapons or more lethal guns. It could be that they have changed their ways and are looking to kill more people, which is not an impossibility. So we're paying close attention to that. But it does tell us that we now have to shift our focus to deal with this issue of violence frontally.
Jamaica is to enhance its capacity for tracking cancer data to guide policy development for more comprehensive cancer prevention and control. This will be done through the use of the District Health Information Software version 2, DHIS. Jamaica will be the first country in the Caribbean and second in the world to use the Health Information Management Platform to enable population-wide reporting on cancer burden by the National Cancer Registry of Jamaica. The use of this groundbreaking software is made possible through the award of a grant from the Bloomberg Philanthropist Data for Health D4H Initiative's Global Grants Program. The grant was secured for a project launched on Tuesday by the Ministry of Health in collaboration with the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA. The project will involve the installation, customization, and use of an oncology module using the Health Information Management Platform. It is expected to improve cancer control through the improved availability of national data that can be used by the ministry to guide cancer prevention and control strategies locally. In the April 2023 publication of Jamaica's Vitals, the NCD edition, cancer is shown to be the leading cause of death in the island. It accounted for 23.7% of deaths caused by non-communicable disease and 18.9% of all deaths in 2020. There were an estimated 7,348 new cancer cases and 4,746 cancer deaths in 2020. In other health news, the ministry has added 5 new conditions to the existing categories of illnesses, as well as new medications for which Jamaicans can receive healthcare subsidy under the NHF Card Benefits Program. On Tuesday, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton announced an estimated $450 million in additional subsidies that will benefit approximately 47,000 Jamaicans.
The NHF card will therefore see increased subsidies for the treatment of colorectal cancer, lung cancer, multiple myeloma, Parkinson's disease, and thyroid disease. In addition to these 5 additional conditions, we will see 10 new active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, become available to the NHF program for the treatment of the disease. In other words, you will see new drugs coming on stream and being available to those persons for treatment.
These new benefits took effect on October 24. The National Health Fund provides benefits and subsidies for Jamaican residents enrolled for medication to treat with 17 chronic diseases and for medical supplies and devices, as well as diagnostic tests. Approximately 350,000 Jamaicans actively rely on this program for care. The Transport Authority is following through on its zero-tolerance policy for the overcharging of fares on public passenger vehicles. To date, 63 PPV operators have been charged for the offense. Managing Director of the Transport Authority, Ralston Smith, made the disclosure as he addressed a press conference at the Ministry of Transport on Tuesday. He says the authority has executed more than 90 operations since a 19% fare increase took effect on October 15.
And we have made up 142 prosecutions in total. We will not allow any operators for greed or any other motive to exploit the commuting public.
Mr. Smith says 165 complaints have been submitted to the Transport Authority's newly established database. To date, 145 have been resolved, while the remaining complaints are under investigation. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says this is a process the government is committed to maintaining, but it also requires the public to report these instances of overcharging.
This is something that's going to be sustained, and there is a handful of them in every community, every route, and the more people take them and pay the higher fare, is the more it's ingrained. The more they resist, is the more they're going to be forced to pull back. There can only be one fare, and that is a fare regulated by the Transport Authority. Can't have 2 fare or 3 fare.
And finally, the Bureau of Gender Affairs, BGA, is carrying out a series of No Excuse for Abuse community chats in areas that are experiencing various forms of domestic violence. The public education campaign involves the distribution of flyers and talks with residents. The aim is to highlight the importance of reporting and seeking help. Social worker at the BGA, Lorian Scarlett, tells JIS News that the walkthrough is to facilitate access to resources and look at social issues that are impacting men, women, boys, and girls.
In which we're going to go about sensitizing and creating awareness to the public about domestic violence particularly. So we're looking at various issues or various types of domestic violence, which includes sexual, physical, emotional, and financial abuse.
The Bureau was in the Papine area last week and shared information on what to do if someone is being abused, as well as signs and where to go for help. Persons who are experiencing or know of violent relationships can contact the BGA's No Excuse for Abuse helpline or text at 876-553-0372 for females or 876-533-0387 for males. The No Excuse for Abuse program is held in collaboration with the police, the Victim Services Division of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, and other social agencies. And that's it for News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
part of policy development at the PIOJ Dialogue for Development, Wednesday, November 1 at 10 a.m. Hear about policy imperatives for sustainability with sociologist Heather Ricketts, economist Christine Clark, and ecologist Dale Weber. And at 2 p.m. we discuss transforming our society through technology with ICT consultant Trevor Forrest, CEO of EduFocal Gordon Swaby, and directors of HYC Medical Drs. Fairclough and Core. Reserve your virtual space now at pioj.gov.jm.
On today's episode of Finance Matters, we're thinking big with the IDB-supported Boosting Innovation, Growth and Entrepreneurship and Ecosystems program.
The Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, facilitates economic growth and development across all sectors and includes all Jamaicans regardless of their socio-economic strata. The DBJ has introduced a variety of programs and has seen Jamaican innovation on many levels. But how impactful have these programs been? Today, we catch up with DBJ to get an update on the development of Jamaican businesses. Hi, I'm Shaquille Rochester Shorter and welcome to Finance Matters. Joining us today is the Program Manager for Boosting Innovation, Growth and Entrepreneurship Ecosystem, Biggie, at the DBJ, Mr. Christopher Brown. Remember to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow the Ministry of Finance on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and now TikTok to see all the episodes and highlights. Mr. Brown, thank you for coming on our program today.
It's my pleasure.
All right, so I remember in 2021, DBJ launching the Biggie program. Can you provide us with an update now?
Okay, sure. Thanks again for having me. So the Biggie program is really a DBJ's program in supporting entrepreneurship in Jamaica. It's really from a loan from the IDB, and we recently got some additional money from the European Union as a grant towards running the program. So the program is really about supporting innovation and entrepreneurship. We recognize that businesses are at different stages. So you have people who are in the idea stage who just want to work through whether this idea makes sense. You have people who already have a business and they're trying to find out how they can grow it, how they can get into new markets, maybe offer new products. And then you have some more established firms who really want to get much bigger. So we've designed the Biggie program to support all these different businesses at the different stages of their life. And that's by providing grants as well as technical support, so helping them to get markets, giving them coaching, mentorship, running them through specific training programs so that they can really run businesses better.
So how long is Biggie going to last? Is it an ongoing program? Will it end? Tell us about that.
Right, so it's really two programs in one. It's expected that we will end the program in 2027. One part of it may end in 2025. But it's an ongoing program. We are trying to support as many entrepreneurs as possible. Also just the ecosystem, right? So you have people who are business people who are running businesses. We have grants and technical support to help them. You have institutions who are really set up to provide training, guidance, mentorship. We are also trying to improve the quality of those institutions that serve businesses as well. And then, ecosystem entrepreneurship is about a community, right? So community building is something that we're doing. So we have a number of workshops, webinars, we have some networking events that put people together, because if people don't feel comfortable working with each other, then entrepreneurship really won't thrive in the country.
I believe so. I see you recently on Facebook and Instagram talking about the Patent Grant Fund. What is that?
Okay, so we recently launched really the second cohort of our Patent Grant Fund, which is really saying inventors who have new ideas or inventions are able to access grant money up to $4 million Jamaican dollars.
4 million?
Yes, towards registering and protecting their inventions, which is filing a patent. So they're able to use the money to do that locally as well as in other jurisdictions, countries in the world. So if you have a product and you want to go into the United States, the best thing for you to do is to protect it by filing a patent so nobody can steal it or use it for their own gain. So that's what we're encouraging, that people who have these brilliant ideas have come up with new things that the world has never seen for them to protect them in the different countries that they want to operate in.
And since we're on the topic of patent, can you tell me of a Jamaican patent that people may know that is out there?
Right, so one that I don't think many people are aware of, but I think we all know about it, is, so Devon House Bakery does these patties. They're not the traditional shape as we're used to.
I'm very familiar with them.
Right, this is square folded pack. That design of a patty is actually patented by them. So as you probably recognize that you've never seen another patty in that shape being sold commercially. They own the design patent that is around that particular product. And I'm sure because of that, they have been able to charge more for their patties, given its unique design and filling and so forth. So that's a Jamaican-owned patent that exists here.
But before we go, Mr. Brown, can you tell us 3 things that we should know about Biggie, or we can look forward to coming out of the DBJ?
Okay, so the Biggie program has many different programs for entrepreneurs. The ones that I make mention of now, we recently identified some firms under our Innovation Grant Fund. That particular product, businesses can get up to 20 million Jamaican dollars towards exploring an innovation, which is some new product or service that they're bringing to the market or to the world. We also have our Patent Grant Fund, which I mentioned that we launched. So we're encouraging all inventors, whether you're part of the Innovation Awards, if you are part of NCST, if you are in the universities, even if you're just at home and you have an invention that doesn't exist in the world, we want to help you to protect that so that you can ultimately make some money from it, right? Because it is about business activity. We also have our Ignite program, which is for our smaller companies. So companies who are in the idea phase. So you just have an idea and you want to try and test it, develop some type of prototype. That particular product we offer up to 7 million Jamaican dollars as a grant towards running that program. So those are 3 programs that Biggie has operated. We've been running since we launched in 2021. It tends to be on a cyclical basis, so every year we put out a call and ask for applications to come in. So as I mentioned, the Patent Grant Fund is now open, and the 4th thing I'd add to it is we have a product called the Jamaica Business Fund, which is really for supply chains or clusters to benefit from. So we're offering up to 45 million Jamaican dollars as a grant for the group to be able to access to do things related to improving their productivity, primarily for them to get into the export market or for them to do some kind of import substitution. So how I'll explain it is, if you have a group of firms, companies like yourself, let's say you're in IT services, and you see an opportunity in Trinidad that if both of you, all of you come together, 4 or 5 of you come together, you guys can take advantage of that opportunity. We are willing to provide up to $45 million as grant resources to help improve the product that you're offering and to help you to get into that market. And we're just encouraging all business people to look out for DBJ's opportunities.
So, Mr. Brown, with all these great opportunities, where can Jamaicans apply?
Okay, so you can visit our website, which is thinkbigee.com with 2 E's at the end. So thinkbigee.com. And all of the grant opportunities that we have, all the programs that we run are outlined there. I'll also want to encourage people to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Let's Dream Big JA, because again, the Biggie program is around encouraging businesses to dream big so that they can grow their business.
Mr. Brown, all I can hear is the DBJ has some money and they're willing to give it to companies to grow them. Is that so?
That's correct. Responsibly though, we want to see them grow. That's the main objective.
Nice. So on that note, thank you for coming on our program today.
You're most welcome.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Finance Matters. Remember to follow us on social media at MOF Jamaica and tune in next week as we continue to demystify the economic and fiscal policies and initiatives implemented by the government to empower Jamaicans as we chart a path to Jamaica's economic prosperity.
It's time again for the JIS Heritage Essay Competition. Are you a primary school student? Write a 400 to 500 word essay responding to the question, should Jamaica remain under the British monarchy or become a full republic? And win lots of prizes. Visit jis.gov.jm for competition guidelines. Registration opens October 1 and closes October 31. The JIS Heritage Essay Competition 2023. Enter today.
A healthy mommy means a healthy baby. Our next feature examines the benefits breastfeeding offers to both mom and baby.
Every child has the right to enough nourishing food to grow well and flourish. For the very young, breast milk remains the best food source.
Data from the World Health Organization shows that breast milk, as the natural first food for babies, provides all the energy and nutrients that the infant needs for the first 6 months of life. And it continues to provide up to half or more of a child's nutritional needs during the second half of the first year, and up to 1/3 during the second year of life.
Breast milk provides much needed antibodies to protect babies against all kinds of infections. The colostrum or foremilk, which is the first milk produced by mothers after giving birth, is the baby's first immunization against some infections. Babies who are exclusively breastfed have less episodes of diarrhea, acute respiratory infection, and skin conditions.
Appropriate breastfeeding practices, therefore, have the potential to reduce infant mortality in children ages 5 years and younger by 14%, while appropriate complementary feeding up to 2 years of age is capable of preventing an additional 6% of deaths in this age range.
Breastfeeding also establishes a close, loving bond between mother and baby. In addition, mothers benefit from improved postpartum recovery, reduced iron loss, and decreased risk of breast and ovarian cancers. Another benefit? Mothers need not spend on infant formulas, which can be a huge financial burden.
Breastfeeding is a universal solution that has proven to improving the health, well-being, and survival of women and children around the world. It helps to prevent malnutrition in all its forms, ensures food security for infants and young children, and thus helps to bring people and nations out of hunger and the poverty cycle. That's big. That's quite profound.
Men can actively participate and support the breastfeeding mother. So even, for example, if the milk is expressed and placed in a clean container or cup, then the father can be the one to feed the child from the cup with the breast milk.
In cases where the mother is breastfeeding, the father can support her by doing chores to ease her burden.
Some quick tips on breastfeeding for mommy to eat from all the 7 food groups that keep you healthy. Continue taking your maternal supplements. Remember, baby is getting all its nutrients from breastfeed milk, and make sure that when baby sleeps, you sleep, because babies don't have a special time to sleep, so you have to get rest when baby sleeps.
Mothers who choose not to breastfeed are encouraged to discuss this issue with their healthcare provider. Individual counseling on breastfeeding is important for dispelling any myths or concerns.
And we need to embrace the traditional approaches as it relates to lactating mothers, as it relates to development of our newborns. And there is very little technology that is going to change that reality, that the breast is best and is still the best.
Medical experts recommend the initiation of breastfeeding within half hour of birth. Do not give newborns any food or drink other than breast milk unless medically indicated. And encourage breastfeeding on demand. Also, don't give artificial teats or pacifiers to breastfeeding infants.
The hope for the ministry is that every child receives a fair opportunity at benefiting from the tremendous nutritional and other critical values, psycho-emotional, physiological, economic, and hygienic advantages of breastfeeding.
Do what's best for your child. Breastfeed and give them a healthy start to a long life.
I feel great. I really appreciate it, and the fact that Jamaica is inclusive is a real wonderful feature of the country. I will just say that it's always a pleasure to do things here.
Receiving something like a national honor is at once humbling, but also it feels like a call to further action. I have to tell you, you feel like, yes, that's nice, but what else are you doing? So I believe that being born a Jamaican is an unearned privilege, and I will continue to do what I can to earn the privilege of being a Jamaican.
I am appreciative of the fact that my country has recognized me, but I would put it this way, that for the many people who have always appreciated my work and supported me, this for them is vindication for how they feel about me and my work.
I'm elated but humbled. The greatest recognition one can get is from country. You don't do this work for awards, but when it comes, you really appreciate it, particularly coming from a country that you love.
We view this as a very good gesture. We take it with humility. We know that the work continues, and we will continue to do our best to serve the people of Jamaica.
It's a proud moment for me, and I believe it's a proud moment for my family, my community. That's the community that I'm from, and my school community as well, Glenmuir High School, and most importantly, the soldiers that I serve and that serve with me. I think this is very important for them.
We've come to the final stop of today's magazine. For more content like this and to keep up with all our other happenings, visit our website, jis.gov.jm. From the production team here at the JIS, I am Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.